Welcome back, Syndicate members. It is I, Joshua Mammoth, back once again with another independent comic book review. Rachel's joining me tonight. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. So tonight we're going to be reviewing a comic that we picked up at the Daytona Comic Book Convention a few weeks ago.
Yes, and this one I'm super excited about because I definitely love this one from the first time we saw it.
And so this comes from two of the artists that we are creators that we interviewed. So the first one is Roland Mann.
And next one is Haley Martin.
And Haley Martin. So Haley Martin is the artist.
Yes.
And Roland Mann is the writer on this book.
Yes.
And so, let's go ahead and dive into it. So we're going to put an overlay of it, but this is the actual book here. It's called BEAH. You'll notice that it's not exactly spelled the same as bear would normally be, but there's a reason for that, and we're going to get into it.
Not a typo.
We also got Haley Martin's autograph down here,
which is always awesome.
So, anyway, we'll start with the cover. So, the cover kind of got us because it looks like it's like a straight up kids book.
Oh, definitely. I thought it was definitely going to be more of a kids type of book, but you definitely, it's definitely not.
Yeah, it takes a left turn pretty quickly.
Oh, sharp turn.
Yeah. Okay, so basically on the first page when you flip it, the inside cover has a nice breakdown from Roland. And we took a minute to read through this, and it's a very interesting story.
Oh, definitely. And it really takes to heart because, I mean, firsthand, you know how that goes. You have an idea, people say they're going to help and everything else, and it just kind of falls through for one reason or another. So it's really great that he was able to actually get his idea from start to finish, even though it took a long time, but
definitely took a long time. Like the project that started in the 90s.
I thought you said 80s.
80s?
Maybe. We'll have to double check that, yeah.
Yeah, and so he just kept at it, and eventually he met Haley, and then they were able to put it together.
Yeah, and I love that, and I'm so glad they did, because, man, what a good story.
Yeah, and so with Haley, too, so she started in webcomics.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was really cool.
Much like I did with Joppa City.
Very true.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Definitely, because you don't see a lot of that back then, even when you were doing it. Even now, it's still not a very popular thing, which is kind of funny because,
it is free.
It's free, and, everyone loves the web, but...
social media kind of killed a lot of webcomics, too.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. So, anyway, so the first page, we have Hoglet.
Yes.
Right? This is Hoglet. And he's running pretty frantically. And he ends up running into our main character, the title of the book, BEAH.
Yes.
So he literally runs into the backside of him.
What a side.
And so he's telling BEAH that the kid is missing.
Yes, he's telling him that's why he's so frantic, and that's why he doesn't know what to do, and the bear's like, what are you doing? Slow down, kind of thing.
Yeah, and then it also has the inside title of the book, which I believe it said, the kid has died, long live the kid.
Yes.
So we're already a little confused.
So I'm like, okay, the kid's already died. It's the first page. What's going to go on from this point? But yeah, it was definitely a little different.
And so basically, BEAH says that he's hungry and that he's on his way to the stump.
Yep, which is apparently a really popular spot there at their little world. So they start going along to the stump on the path, and they end up meeting some other friends.
So they run into my personal favorite character in the book, the polecat.
It would be.
And he's ecstatic that now that they're all free.
Yeah.
So apparently the kid run a tight ship around them.
I know. I was like, are they in prison or what's happening? I was like, this is supposed to be a kid. What kind of kid are we talking about here?
And we don't really know what else is going on in the world outside of they're in this forest area.
Right. It just looks like a forest, and they literally go to what looks like a stump.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very different.
So Polecat was going to join them, but he has some other plans. And so BEAH and Hoglet
Well, it seemed kind of shady of how all of a sudden he switched his plans when somebody else came along.
Oh, that's true.
So that's what made me think. I'm like, I might not need to trust this polecat guy.
Yeah, you definitely picked up on that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. So the stump is like an area of the forest that it's literally says the stump.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like a restaurant hangout type of place.
Yeah, like maybe a sports bar or something.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
So, but right away you see some stuff inside the stump here that kind of gives you a lot of questions. For example, like the sock monkey.
Yeah, lots of questions. You see a Ninja Turtle, there's Sock Monkey. You don't know what's going on with this kind of bar.
Yeah, and when they walk in, there's like a fight of some sort.
Oh, definitely, and it's obviously chaos. It's dirty. There's stuff spilled all over. It's like, what kind of bar is this? I thought this was a forest, you know?
And so they go up to the proprietor of the bar, which is, I think, a kangaroo named Miss Mandy.
Yeah.
And so what's cool is they gave her like kind of an accent, sort of. So when you're reading it, it sort of comes out.
It does. Yeah, all of a sudden you start kind of reading it in the accent. I thought that was a really cool touch.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. And so essentially she explains to them that the kid is missing or thrown away, I think some of them put it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So the polecat had came in here and I guess kind of stirred everybody up.
Yep, and that's why you love that character. But yeah, Polecat came in and kind of stirred everything up, and just everything kind of went to chaos after that. And she's worked so hard to keep this business, and that's why she's so sad.
So Bear silences everybody so that he can settle down and actually find out what's going on.
Yeah, and enjoy what he probably came to eat.
But he doesn't actually eat there.
Oh, that's right. He has to leave. He was looking forward to the fried chicken. Poor guy.
I know, we all do love the fried chicken. Yeah. So this is where in the story that it starts getting a little weird.
Oh, definitely took another real sharp turn real quick. And I was a little confused at first, but I liked a lot how it turned out.
It goes from a forest to sort of like a kid's bedroom area.
Kind of like a crime scene.
Well, yeah, both. The two aren't mutually exclusive. But what ends up happening is, Bear is talking to Miss Mandy, and then this chunk of looks like strawberry ice cream randomly falls on his head.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then we learn that they're actually toys.
Yes. Stuffed animals.
Mm-hmm. Right. And we learn that because when the ice cream hits, it kind of turns them back to the toy, and then we see two officers come in. And what I thought was kind of cool too is that you don't see their faces.
Oh, I know. That's real classic of toy style or kid style activities where they have toys that come to life. You never get to see faces. I kind of like that. I'm trying to think of another situation. They had a cartoon back in the day.
Muppet Babies.
Okay, yeah, where they didn't show the face. I always thought that was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it just had her green and white socks.
So I thought that was clever. What I thought was weird, why are the cops eating ice cream at a crime scene? What are they doing here? It's contaminating.
Well, actually, what if the ice cream was in the house already, though? Would that be inappropriate?
Definitely. Why is he right in their fridge?
Be hungry. And so actually we get a nice spread of the room.
Yes, and I gotta say, I love this kid's room.
So this was sort of like a page you had to spend a few minutes on.
Oh, definitely. There's so much that you have to really check out. There's so much detail, and I gotta shout out the Enterprise.
Yeah, that was the first thing you noticed.
Of course.
Yeah. There's a some Star Wars references in there, and a lot of really cool stuff. So we spent quite a bit of time comparing notes on what we found on this one.
For sure.
And what did you think about the art so far?
Oh, I thought it was awesome. Just the style itself, and it really grabs you because it's so colorful.
It is really colorful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really do appreciate that kind of stuff, especially because we've have been reading a lot of black and white books. So this really was a stark contrast with the one we have been
That's
reading.
true. Yeah, the past few we've been reading have been black and whites, those have been amazing.
Oh, completely.
But
yeah, it was such a contrast. So maybe that's why it was so much more vibrant. But yeah, it looked amazing.
Okay, and so this is the part of the story that it starts blending the worlds together.
Yes, this was my favorite part because I started realizing, oh, they might not be in the world I thought they were.
No, in fact, the way they see the world is completely different. Because first off, none of them even reacted to the police being in there.
No, you would think like, oh no, a giant or something, but no, they acted like it wasn't even a thing until the ice cream hit.
Yeah, until the ice cream hit, and then even then they didn't know where it even came from. But that's where we saw that the two worlds were interacting.
Yes.
And then this was like a really clever shot too, and it's kind of like we'll put an overlay of this one. It's kind of like a overshot, and it has the chalk outline from the bedroom.
Yes.
Only it's in the forest.
Right. Which first made me realize, oh, they're just having a whole different perspective of it. Mm-hmm. I loved it.
Yeah, and so that's when you figure out that it's actually this whole thing has so far just taken place in a boy's bedroom.
Yeah, there's no forest, there's no anything that's like, wait, what is going on? So it's kind of trippy.
And it kind of made me wonder where the stump was located.
See, I'm kind of thinking it's the trunk.
The
trunk.
It's
wood. That's the only thing in the bedroom I could see.
Yeah, maybe it is the trunk.
Yeah.
Trunk, stump. Yeah. I mean, they're seeing everything with trees, so it definitely could be.
Yeah.
And then, so at this point, Bear climbs onto a windowsill.
Yes.
And I guess he wants to meditate or think about life.
Well, and again, it's like outside of a house, so I'm kind of again curious where that is in the room.
Yeah, because it has to, because actually, and this is another brilliant scene that Haley did, the panel where it has Bear on the ledge, but you see the shelving in the background from the room. You see the toys in the background in the panel. And then there's some trees, like kind of like in between Bear and the shelf. There's like trees in the middle there.
Oh, that's very clever, yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of like blends the worlds together because you're kind of seeing it. Okay, so this is how Bear sees his world, but it's really just the bedroom.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah, I really like that. And so while he's on the window ledge, this is the part that gets a little weird, right?
Oh, completely. Again, threw me off. I'm like, we're taking another sharp left turn.
And this is the part where the kid seemingly comes back to talk to Bear.
Yes. The kid's there. Again, you don't see his face, but you can obviously tell it's a kid, and Bear obviously recognizes him.
Yeah, he does. And so he sits down next to Bear, and he's basically telling Bear, oh, I didn't die. I moved, and I'm preparing a place for you guys, but you got to be ready to go.
Yeah, because for some reason the father seemed a little weird with the stuffed animals.
Yeah, he's like, yo, if they ain't packed, they're gone.
They're gone, yeah.
And so, I mean, I got a few stuffed animals.
I know. What's wrong with that?
So, in any case, Bear kind of questions him why, and he's like, hey, just do it.
Right.
You know,
you're my bro. Let's go.
Yeah. And so after that, the kid leaves, but we find out that Polecat had overheard the conversation.
Yes, he's always lurking in the background.
Yeah, and then he figures out the plan, and so he wants to stop that from happening.
Oh yeah, because he's liking the freedom. He doesn't want to go back to the way life was. It seems like.
And speaking of the freedom, he had like the perfect Joshua Mammoth get up.
I knew that's why you liked him.
Like he came out with the tie.
So dapper.
He had the glasses. You know, he was just kind of like strutting it.
I like the pig.
Well, he was cool, but I mean, he didn't have sunglasses. I guess he had regular glasses. That's really not as cool though.
What is that?
So what happens after that is Bear just, I think he's going to visit Bunny.
Right,
Yeah.
because
we met Bunny earlier.
Yes,
in
and the kid gave him pretty much like a mission, like, you know, hey, you got to get everyone ready. So he's like, all right.
Including the under the bed toys.
Right, which again freaked me out. I'm like, is this like in Toy Story? Remember all the, you know, the crazy toys? I was like, oh, what's up with the bed?
Yeah, because, I mean, mine would just be a ninja sword.
Because that's what you have under a bed, yeah.
Well, of course, you know, next to the baseball bat. So, what happens at that point in the book?
So then all of a sudden there's just a slam, and it just seems like something appears out of nowhere.
Oh, right. It crushes the house.
Yes.
Bunny's house, right?
And you don't even see what it is until the very end.
The very end. The splash page.
Literally. And it's an amazing splash page.
Yes. So, basically, Bear walks around to the side of it and sees that it's a book of some type. Of course, they don't really identify it as a book. They just identify it as this giant object.
Right, because, I mean, of course, to them it is.
Yeah, and it probably fell off of the bookshelf.
Oh, right. I don't
know
why that didn't occur to me until just now.
Yeah. And so, in any case, that book was The Lord of the Rings.
What an amazing book.
Yeah, and also a very heavy book, too.
I know. I mean, that thing could be... At least our copy. I mean, that thing's pretty thick.
Well, yeah, because it's all 3 volumes in one.
Right.
So, you know, it's like...
It's good stuff. Definitely crush a house.
Okay, Syndicate members, it's time for my special analysis. So, what did you like about this biscuit?
So, definitely the vibrant colors. It was just amazing. The art, I just thought it was so different looking from what we've been seeing lately. And I just thought it was really cool.
You know what? I actually really like the fact that the color usage really fit.
Oh, completely. It wasn't just like colors thrown around.
Yeah. It really fit. It wasn't...
I think it reminded me of maybe like a childhood story. And maybe that's what is like a nostalgia thing for me.
Maybe.
I just loved how it looked. I thought it was super cool and just... Yeah, I just thought it looked really classic with that.
I put that... I like the taglines at the bottom of the page.
That was clever to kind of give you little snippets of other titles that he's doing. Almost like, oh, I need to read that. What's that about?
Right.
No, there was definitely a couple in there where I'm like, wait, I need to check out that title. What's that about?
And some of them we already had.
I know, which is awesome.
Yeah, I think the Friar Rush was in there.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Yes.
I really like that idea.
I know, so clever. I've never seen that before.
What else did you like about this comic?
So I also love the name. I thought it was so clever. At first I was like...
Oh, we didn't actually discuss the name.
Right. I thought it was so cute because you can obviously see it's BEAH. And at first I was like, how are we going to pronounce that? But they're like, no, it's Bear because it's almost like said like a child. And that's how, you know, when he got the bear, that's how he pronounced it. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And I like how they just kind of kept up with that in the kind of child mentality of it, even though it's definitely not a child book.
Yeah, because I remember when we were looking at it and they kept saying bear, and then we kept looking at the title and we were like,
that's not an R. I'm like, how is that an R?
Because we were like, how do we pronounce that? Bea?
Yeah.
Something like that. But once it's explained in the comic, like, oh, that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of reminds me of my aunt, you know, because we have a special name for her that we couldn't pronounce her name as a kid.
Oh, right, yeah.
I won't say that name out here. But
she'll probably appreciate that.
I put Roland's intro is something I really like.
Oh,
or something I liked.
Yes, I agree. That was really cool how he did that, just to show the backstory of everything, to kind of see the start of it to the end and how it's progressed. And that sometimes, even if you have an awesome idea, it might take a long time to get there, but just keep going because it obviously is worth it.
Definitely.
And I thought that was really cool.
So, what did you really like about Bear?
Oh, man. One... they obviously took like a classic childhood story and took a crazy twist on it, and that's definitely one of my childhood favorites. Was it's like a Winnie the Pooh kind of you know transition. So I just thought that was a really awesome take on it.
I really like the chalk outline idea.
Oh, that was definitely an awesome idea.
Because that's when you kind of realize what was going on.
Yeah, because immediately you're like, oh, this is a crime scene.
Yeah.
And as a criminal minds of it all kind of lover, I'm like, oh, here we go.
I'm looking for clues, but
right?
we're really done there. But I honestly really like the fight scene inside the stump.
That was really cool. The chaos of it all, seeing all those kind of animals just fight and everything's in disarray, it was definitely funny.
And plus, sock monkeys, they're creepy.
You're creeped out by sock monkeys? Really?
A sock one that's like moving and throwing stuff?
Well, how often does that happen?
That's why it would be creepy.
But you do realize everything else doesn't normally move on its own. Okay.
Or so we think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So those cops were clearly there. They didn't know what was going on. What did you really like?
Honestly, it was just such an awesome page turner. I thought that was just really good. I literally just could not stop. It was so good to just keep flipping through and just, oh my God, what's going to happen? And it seemed like every twist was going on. I was like, when I got to that very end page, I was like, no.
And that's cool too because, it wasn't really an origin story.
Oh no, it was kind of like, here, let's throw in and let's get started with this. And it was definitely like a murder mystery of it all.
And I think Haley told us that issue 2 was coming out soon.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And man, I'm picking it up as soon as it comes out.
We definitely need to pick that one up. Yeah, that's going to be a good read. I definitely need to figure out what happens.
Oh, I gotta know.
I also put that I really like the humans had their faces hidden.
Definitely. It's definitely a classic thing, and it's just really clever.
What did you love about this biscuit?
Oh, man. Well, I just love that the stuffed animals see a whole other world than what's actually the bedroom. And in fact, they see a stump. There's definitely no stump. There's no forest. I just thought that was such an amazing idea. And the fact that you really think that kids really get into their own world with these animals, and maybe they do create their own world.
And also, what I loved about this was that we got to meet the creators, too.
Oh, that's always awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And talk to them. And again, such awesome people to talk to and hear how they got inspired, what they're doing. And just seeing their passion in it is really amazing.
And also, the fact that Roland writes a lot of comics.
Oh, it's amazing. I couldn't believe how many he goes through.
Okay, so I loved the kids' bedroom.
Oh, that is so funny. That is literally my next one, too. That was definitely my favorite page of it all. There was so much detail in it that it was really amazing.
It kind of sounded like a Tool Time segment. Kids' bedroom. It's a dated reference. But anyway.
Yeah, it's a good show.
That one, because that was actually 2 splash pages together,
yes.
A crossover spread. And I'm just kind of wondering, did she think of, okay, this is the stuff I want to put in it? Or did she just start drawing it and then was like, I'm going to put an Enterprise here, I'm going to put a little turtle here?
That's a good question. I don't know, but I really loved all the different just stuffed animals. There's different toys. They're kind of just strewn about.
Yeah, because you can see them because, Miss Mandy's, up on a shelf up here.
Right.
And then I think Polecat was... Polecat was in there somewhere.
And I think you saw the Ninja Turtle somewhere else. So it was just really cool. But I think it was a different color Ninja Turtle, if I remember right.
Maybe.
I don't know. But still, again, so many cool details and color. I thought it was really
cool. Did you also love Polecat's Joshua Mammoth look?
Oh, that's so funny because I didn't think about that until just now. See, I kind of thought Polecat was the one you got to look out for. I thought he might be the guilty.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the look though.
Yeah, but that kind of brings to it, it's like, oh, he's so dressed up. You gotta look at him a little different.
Well, he just kind of added a tie and kind of had a vest going on.
See, my favorite character and that I love so much was Hoglet.
You liked Hoglet?
I loved Hoglet. He was so cute.
And he snorted a lot too.
Yes, first of all, I love little pigs. So the fact that he was just this fat little pig, I thought he was so cute. I can't wait to see Hoglet.
Yeah, Hoglet. was probably my least favorite. I'm just kidding. He was cool.
I also love Miss Mandy though.
Yeah, Miss
So I
Mandy.
was so sad when she was so sad. I was like, aw.
And the Stump probably is a pretty reputable establishment normally.
I would hope so. I mean, it is a kids' room. People. Come on.
Okay, well, what else did you love about this book?
Well, honestly, I just thought it was a great read all around. Like I said, it really keeps you engaged. The artwork is awesome.
The artwork was really good.
It is, and like I said, there's just so much detail in it, and you really, I mean, I read it a few times, because every time you read it, it's almost like you find something new. Like, even talking now, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go back and find out, some of the stuff we were talking about, because there's just so much cool stuff in there.
Because it's a quick read, but at the same time, you want to go back and look at the art.
Exactly.
Because, that's what I do. I got a process, and I like to really look at the art because, like for example, when I make a book, every page I take it as like a piece of canvas, not just a page,
for sure. Because honestly, that's the only way you're going to be able to blend into a story.
Yeah.
Because other way, you're just going to have just blocks of different stuff, and it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they did an amazing job with this story, and I literally cannot wait to read the second part.
Yeah, definitely. So great job to Roland and also Haley Martin.
Oh yeah, A plus.
Definitely, that was a great read, and we have a lot of Silverline.
We do. I'm really excited. We're going to be doing a lot more videos for them. Because, man, I'm just excited to read all the titles.
Well, first, we wanted to do this one first because it had two of the creators.
Right, and we just thought that was really cool that they kind of teamed up. So we thought that'd be the great start of our series.
Yeah. So definitely leave a comment down below. All the details are going to be down there where you can get this book.
And make sure you pick it up.
And tell them Joshua Mammoth sent you.
That's right.
And so also Haley Martin and Roland Mann's info along with Silverline, all that stuff will be down below.
Yes.
And they have a lot of stuff.
Again, wide variety. There is something for everyone in there. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's all we have for you tonight, Syndicate members. Between the known and the unknown lies the mammoth. I'll see you next time.